Alright guys, today we are out at Gingerman Raceway. I'm driving my 2022 BRZ Premium. We are going to see if we're going to keep up with a 2022 Hyundai Veloster N. That is the 8-speed DCT. So it's got 275 horsepower. It is a fun, hot hatchback. Now that the Civic Type R isn't being sold anymore, that is kind of one of the best options, that along with the Elantra N, if you want something that's fun, front-wheel drive, has a limited slip diff, and can really do track duty and street duty at the same time. 228 horsepower, about 2,800 pounds in the BRZ. These should be pretty even, but I am on the Michelin Primacy tires. Cool, off we go. So we're gonna do an out lap, 2 hot laps following Charlie, and then I will lead, we'll swap, and I'll see if I can stay ahead of him. The limiting factor here is gonna be grip on these Michelin Primacies. They are super fun to drive on, but they have their limits. Their limits are fun, but granted, it's more for drifting than lap times. I'm also fighting a little bit of brake fade today. Went out in the first session and had a lap battle with a Cayman. Had a lot of fun, but got a little overzealous in some braking zones and pushed it a little bit too hard. So we boiled the fluid once, let it sit for a couple hours, got everything cooled down, but brakes are a little mushy. So I'm gonna take it easy into the braking zones today. Leave it in third here. We have some torque. All right, pulling away from me on the front straight. Brakes are feeling pretty good out here. Gaining on him a little bit in the corners, but again, we are tire limited, and I think ultimately the Veloster N is going to be the faster car out here. Running a set of Porterfield R4S brake pads on this BRZ. We have about 1.5 degrees of negative camber up front. It's not getting away from us too easily, but again, we've got some traffic up here ahead. It is hot out today, about 91 degrees Fahrenheit. So oil temps, all that stuff, definitely on the hotter side. Usually when we run this track day, it's in the 60s. Seeing a little bit of a power drop with the hotter temps too in this BRZ. Come on, there we go. when things do get hot in this car, outright power doesn't feel that far off from the old BRZ. Really having to manage our traction here, get us turned in. This is such a beautifully balanced chassis on stock suspension. You throw a little bit more tire pressure into the tires too, and you can really slide this thing around. I just took some air out, so it's not as tail happy, but oh, it's just so good. It's so adjustable. I still kind of argue that these cars are the most fun to drive on their stock wheel and tire setup. So he's definitely pulling away from me a little bit. These cars, I think, would be a little bit more even if the BRZ had a stickier set of tires. I'd probably reel them in the corners and under the braking zones if I had better tires and brakes, but mostly stock for stock, the Veloster N is the quicker car out here. We're going to continue with this cool down and see if Charlie can stay up with me. I assume he's going to be able to without much issue. Mostly we'll just be up ahead for entertainment. All right, we're going to do windows up here. Trying to stay out of ABS as much as possible. Can really feel the power dying down in this heat. I can really feel the power dying down in this hot heat. He's catching me pretty easily here. Let's see what happens on the back straight. Not much is happening with me. He's still hanging. Brakes are getting a little woolly. I think I'm going to back off just a tad. The car just got so slow. First section out, it felt pretty quick, pretty powerful. But through the day, as the heat builds and the cars and tires and engine and everything gets hotter, we're getting a lot slower in this BRZ.
Please say a command. Cancel.
No, thank you. gauge now, which is great. We're about 250 degrees. We've got a Cayman behind us. Well, I think I had my fun in the first session in this BRZ today. I was hanging pretty closely with a Porsche Cayman S, I think it was a 987, and we were having a good lap session, and ever since then it's just too much heat. So these Porterfield R4S pads are nice light track day pads, but they definitely can't hold up to continued abuse or heavy hard driving. Definitely a better option than OEM, but still yeah, this for me, this BRZ isn't a track car. It's a car that I can bring out occasionally, have some fun in, enjoy myself. Probably need to do a brake fluid change before our next track day. Alright guys, well there you go. On Gingerman Raceway, the Veloster N is a lot quicker than the Subaru BRZ. I don't think anyone is going to be surprised by that. Alright guys, that's it for this one. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next video. Take care.